It's a packed evening. There are still 100 people who want to talk to the keynote speaker. I learned a lot. Dr. James Lindsay, pleasure to meet you in person. You've been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
We're going to have some excerpts from your speech, but tell me about the trip itself. What surprised you about Canada?
The energy. There's so much more energy in Canada to fight back against woke, to fight back against tyranny than I didn't expect to see it. I'll just tell you the truth. I thought it was going to be very passive. I didn't think it was going to be anything like this. I saw Sikhs, Muslims, Christians, atheists, people of every race coming together to say no, no more. We're going to protect our kids. We're not having tyranny. We're going to start in Alberta. We're going to take back Canada. And I'm going to go home to the United States and I'm going to shame Americans for not having energy that these Canadians have.
Now, what do you make about the attempts to terrorize venues? I think this was like the fourth venue that your host went through. What do you have to say about that? I mean, it almost didn't happen.
Well, that's true. It almost didn't happen. If it weren't for up in Edmonton, the Sikhs, and if it weren't for the Muslims down here in Calgary, we wouldn't have got it pulled together. We had venue cancel. It's the same games, but you see the turnout. More than 1,000 people turned out tonight. More than 800 in Edmonton. The people are. We're gonna stop this crap. They're not gonna keep shutting things down. People are getting tired of it. People are rolling their eyes. The guy ran the venue up in Edmonton last night was showing me some of the messages, and we're just laughing about him. It's like it's just becoming this tedious joke of things that the stupid activists do, and that's coming from the States where this spell has broken. That's the first step, and then next they call and people are saying like, no, never mind, we don't care. And so Canada, at least Alberta, is on its way.
I want to let you get back to folks because a lot of people have been waiting in line to say hi to you, but I just got a couple more quick questions to compare your American experience with Canada. In what ways is the crisis worse here or there? Would you say that America is further down the path than we are? Because Canadians, I think, are generally more socialist and more woke, or am I wrong?
No, I think that the general people here are frankly too polite, at least as far as this goes. I think it's a virtue to be polite, and it's always something that's been great when I meet Canadians, but you can't let people roll you over. And that's been a problem. So the Canadians are more woke. There seems to be more kind of ground level of everyday person support for the manipulations around the LGBTQ, perpetration that's going on in our society. The States were getting tired of it, outside of maybe the West Coast. So that's different. We are further down the path. And I think it's a zombie ideology is what I say is it died. But all the institutions are still doing it, so it's still going, right? So it's dead, but it's still moving like a zombie. And that we're a little further along with. I think Americans are more tired of the ideology. But like I said, the energy here in Alberta has really blown me away. So I would love to see Canada catch up. And I think it will.
Alberta is probably the most rebellious, reform-minded place in the country. It would be interesting to see a reaction to Toronto or Vancouver. Last question for you, then I'll let you get back to your Canadian fan base. Yeah. In terms of the fight back, I feel like in America, there are more dedicated parents who are campaigning. Am I wrong on that? I feel like there's a spirit in America of revolution. We're going to take back our school boards. We heard a little bit of that by the leader of Take Back Alberta. How do you compare the counter-revolution in the two countries?
Like I said, I think we're a couple of years further down the road than you guys are, but I think it's coming here. I think the energy's coming. They cross the uncrossable line. They mess with our kids. We've heard from Sikhs, we've heard from Muslims, we've heard from Christians, we've heard from atheists, we've heard from all kinds of people. You don't mess with our kids. A Sikh guy told me yesterday up in Edmonton, he said, if you take away our kids, that's everything. That's the last thing. Then there's nothing left. And that's the attitude these people have. So it is further along in America. There are hundreds of thousands of parents engaged across the states, but that's happening here. It's taking a slightly different shape here, but that's fine. And the parents' organizations, I know that, Take Back Alberta is going to be interested in talking with those in the States, sharing information, sharing ideas, sharing, strategies. And so I think there's going to be a real collaborative effort where we're going to get our countries back.
Would you consider coming back to Canada, maybe other cities?
I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely. I know that there are people who want me in Ottawa, goodness. I know there are people who are trying to get me to Vancouver or the greater area. The cancellation game is a little stronger even there. But yeah, I would love to come back up north. Like I said in the talk, it's a beauty way to go. I've heard the song. I know all about it. I'd love to get back up here. It's been fun.
Great to meet you in person. Thanks.
My pleasure.